quick. Moses writes, I've heard that people in different cultures express emotions differently. Yeah. By using English emotion terms, are we introducing a Western bias? That's a really cool question. All right. Thank you, Moses. So what do we think? By using English emotion terms, are we introducing a Western bias, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really important topic for emotion science and empathic AI. And we gather data from around the world, so we can actually address this in like a computational kind of data-driven way, and that's been our approach. Rather than sort of taking a few pictures and getting people to label them in different cultures, we actually take thousands of responses to stimuli of actual people, and what they're actually feeling at the time, and what they say their expression means. They look at their expression and report what they were expressing, and they do it in their own language and like English emotion terms, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, Amharic. We've looked at a lot of different languages, and they use emotion terms and terms like smile and scowl, laugh and cry. And about 75% of the time, the English emotion terms line up with what people say, like experts say, is their most direct translations.
Okay.
In different cultures when they're used to describe expressions. And that's like when you're looking at globalized culture, well, somewhat globalized cultures. I mean, we're almost everybody on Earth, basically. But about 25% of the time, there are like subtle to moderate differences in what the expressions mean in terms of how they're linked to emotions. And so it could be misleading in some cases to say, like, this is the emotion term that's linked to this expression, in addition to the fact that, like, you don't want to describe an expression in emotion terms and then have people think that you're trying to attribute that emotional experience to that person, when people know that it's a social signal. It can be authentic, it can be posed, or it can be used for communication and all of that. So there are all these subtleties that we're sensitive to. On the other hand, like, if you don't use emotion terms at all, it's really hard to capture the meaning people take away from expressions, or even just like characterize a facial expression at all. Like a scowl is just this really, and it turns out that that's just not a very specific word. It can mean pain or anger or any number of things. But like the expression people associate with pain is so reliably distinct from the one people associate with anger. And so it's really, it's tricky. It's tricky. You kind of have to use emotion terms if you want to get at the specificity of expressions.
Right.
And we train algorithms on those terms. And it's not that we are trying to predict what people are feeling, but like the terms, the suite, the distribution of terms people use to label an expression. And we use methods that, basically take out the different confounds. And then we take those algorithms, and now the outputs are proxies. Like basically, like anger in this algorithm, we have one for facial expression, vocal expression, and they don't always align. So it should be very clear that this is not attributing a feeling. There's different modalities, not saying the same thing, but it's a really good proxy for what is a pattern of expression.